The Boston Celtics blew out the Memphis Grizzlies on Tuesday night in their second-to-last game in the bubble before the playoffs. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Jimmy Toscano and Bobby Manning. Guys, really good showing out of all our regulars tonight, but we're going to talk about Grant Williams because why not? He was part of the rotation before the hiatus in March. He was playing really good basketball, especially defensively. He was really the topic of a lot of conversation during the regular season before this long break, and now he really hasn't been getting much burn at all in the bubble, really just playing garbage time minutes. And when you look at him in comparison to a Grizzlies rookie like Brandon Clarke, it's hard to compare and say, hey, should Danny Ainge have gone in a different direction in this past draft? Your thoughts on the comparison being made after tonight's game between Williams and Clarke?
Bob, what do you got?
I've been comparing those two for a minute because Clarke has been going off in Memphis all year. So it's tough to compare the two situations. Memphis is a rebuilding team. The Celtics are contending, so Grant's in more of like a fringe status. But you see the big difference between them in this one. Clarke gives you 15, defense, wing size, and Grant's struggling to get into this playoff rotation right now. Like Rob Williams is asserting himself in his second year. You have Cantor, you have Tice. So it's been hard for him to fit in, and Brad's still trying. He's getting him in at the 4, but Grant's been struggling in Orlando, and Clarke just keeps giving Memphis buckets. So was it the worst screw-up in the world? And, I hate to even call it a screw-up, but Clarke probably is the better player after 1 year between these two.
I mean, it's not probably. He's far and away the better player this year. I mean, this guy's been hot from the start. I think he was even the MVP of the summer league, and he should be obviously, he's not the best rookie on his team, and he's not in the conversation for rookie of the year.
They had a summer, huh?
He had a great rookie year. I mean, what's he averaging for points this year? I actually have it on my phone here. 12 points, 6 rebounds. So when you look at a guy like Grant and you say, well, where does this guy fit on the court? Like, what position is he? What role can he serve? And then you look at it, and you look at Clarke, and this guy can play like tons of positions. He's doing a bunch for Memphis.
And the worst part is he fits on the Celtics perfectly when you look at him.
Yeah, he's that big, big body, and he can do a lot of things. It seems like a guy Danny Ainge would love. So it is kind of a question mark why that is. But I mean, you can question a lot of picks or non-picks. You can go all the way. It's kind of unfair to do that. But it's not even a really comparison right now between the two players. I mean, it's Clarke in a landslide right now.
His average is definitely better than Grant's, but we got to look a little bit long-term here because what the Celtics like a lot about Grant Williams is not only his defensive energy, but how cerebral of a player he is. He really understands the game and think that he could be, a bench player in the NBA for really many, many years because well, he understands the game. But let's hyper-focus into the playoffs here. Do you think Grant will get back into this rotation at some point? Or after seeing the Celtics click on all cylinders on Tuesday night, playing their best basketball heading into the playoffs, it seems almost like there's not a spot for Williams in this rotation come the playoffs.
It doesn't feel like it right now, but Brad's not giving up on anybody. And we think he's going to really tighten it down, but we know how he coaches at this point. Even though this team's completely different, he keeps everybody alive, whether it's Ben Semi-Ojeleye, who we almost counted out coming into the bubble, had a couple good games before this. I'm interested in, we're going to get into a Philly preview in our other video, but if they're playing Al Horford and Joel Embiid on the court together, that actually could be a lineup where Grant fills in against the Horford if they want to match up big with big there. So if there's any series where it's going to happen, it will be in round 1. So Grant, he had a rough time against Portland, awful game against Miami, I thought, and his shooting slump is back from early in the season. So it's going to be a long shot for him to break back in, but he'll get a chance round 1, it feels like.
Yeah, Bob, I think you nailed it with Brad's not giving up on him. He doesn't give up on anybody. He's the type of coach that says, just be ready. Just be ready because you're going to have an opportunity to contribute at some point.
That's how Rob got back in.
Exactly. And Grant is the type of player and feels like the type of person who, when you do go to him, whenever that is and whatever that situation is, he's going to at least give you the effort that you expect out of him, especially if it's on the defensive end. He's going to put his body in the way of players. He's going to give you everything that he can give you. He's not going to sulk. He's not going to be a negative attitude on the bench. So I think that's something that, commendable on his end. Yeah, the shot's struggling. His outside shot's kind of been struggling really all year. I mean, it's never really had one. So that's kind of not a surprise there. But I think, like Bobby said, it's going to be matchup based, and we're seeing that with Williams too. I think some of that's matchup based as well. I mean, Tice can go down. One of the issues we talked about with the Celtics team is they lack size and they lack depth. Well, now it looks like
they saw both of those.
Yeah, they kind of, in a way, I wouldn't say completely saw, but it looks like it might not be as shallow as it was to start this little run here.
Absolutely. Well, for all the rest of our Celtics content, including a Celtics-Sixers playoff preview, find it on our website at clnsmedia.com and on our YouTube channel at Celtics All Access.